So the reason I came to James's Place is I had struggled with my mental health for about 4 months. So I was a primary school teacher, newly qualified, difficult working environment, and I couldn't cope with feeling the way I was feeling, and the pain it would put my family and friends through was, in my head, short-lived enough for me to justify it, and I'd reached a point where I could justify taking my own life, and it's a difficult thing to say, but it needs to be said. And I think that having access to somewhere like James's Place to be able to articulate that, to be able to say those words out loud, because I hadn't said them out loud prior to that, I hadn't expressed that explicitly to anybody, and having that real kind of safe environment with people who understood, people who knew what to say and knew what to do, it made the difference. 100% it made the difference. The first time you open yourself up truly like that to effectively a stranger, it was extremely difficult to open that box. But I found that once it was open, it was easier each time to unload a little bit more and build on what I'd said beforehand and the actions that I was able to take. And there were lots of techniques and things that I could do to help myself. Obviously, I've received a lot of help, but it had to come from me for that real change to happen. And I think the best way I could describe it was that the people at James's Place empowered me to do that, and that is what affected the real change for me. When I'd finished the intervention, I felt like I had tools in my toolbox to be able to go and access if I was finding something particularly difficult. And it has happened since, where I've felt a bit lost or a bit unsure about what's going to happen in the next few weeks, months, whatever. But the techniques and things that I'd learned during that intervention allowed me to not go sort of back on the downward spiral. It was more of a positive kind of outlook. So if I was to speak to somebody who was in my position and in that utter turmoil, and that's the way I would describe it. If somebody is in that space, then there is help there. If it's an option for people to be able to provide the funding so that other people can have the same experience as me, then I would say it's the most important thing that you could do. It was here, it was available, it was quick. I didn't have to wait long from the referral to actually being in this chair, and it saved my life.